And yes, it's another beautiful edition of The Victorious Woman right here on your number one radio station, Invicta 98.9 FM, the Victorious radio station in Kaduna State. The Victorious Woman is a show where we bring ladies, women who are excelling in their industry. They come here and tell their stories, and hopefully the stories get to motivate you. I have someone that works in the media with me today. She is a passionate and impact-driven media and gender advocacy professional dedicated to using storytelling and strategic communication as tools for social transformation. She is skilled in radio production, campaign design, and community engagement. She creates spaces that amplify women's voices, promotes gender equality, and challenge harmful social norms. Today, I have someone that is really passionate about driving meaningful conversations that inspire awareness, empathy, and collective action for a just society. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Salihu Maimunat Mason.
Okay, at this point, I feel like where the award day?
Where the award day? Let's give it to her. Let's give it to her. Welcome to the studio.
Oh, it's lovely to be on Invicta FM 98.9.
Yeah.
I remember, I think I was here in December for a different cause, and I was over the radio. That one, I can't sell my market. So.
Yeah. And today you are here to tell your story. Now, one thing that really struck me about your biography is this line in it: using storytelling and strategic communication as tools for social transformation. One of my mantras is storytelling is one vehicle we can use to create social change, change the world. So I want to know, hearing you say that in a different, word, in your own words, what does that mean for you?
Storytelling.
Yes.
Okay, storytelling for me, I always say this. I said, there's something, if you follow me on my social media, I'll tell you that storytelling is the best way, art in general is the best way to communicate and to make change in society. If you want to enforce change, it is difficult, unless if you want to be a dictator. But if you want change to happen, art is the best form. We've seen this happen in music. We've seen this happen in movies. We've seen this happen in art. The Mona Lisa, why is the Mona Lisa famous? Like, there are questions you need to ask. Yeah. We've seen songs. We've seen people like Nina Simone. We've seen, okay, let's even talk about the recent one. Chimamanda. She's changing the narrative. When it comes to writers. When you say someone is a writer, they'll say, you're starving or something, but there is more to it. You just have to stick to the art. The art will make the change itself. Yes,
of course, the art will make the change itself. And I can remember answering someone when it came to the topic of tribalism, that could tribalism really end in our country? That lack of unity, where this person sees themselves as Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, and we cannot join together. And I just told them, if we created artworks, be it music, be it documentaries, be it whatever form of art, and saturated the media with those kind of art, of course, change would start creeping up a little by little.
Gradually, yes.
So my next question is, how did you get to radio? You are you are into radio production, campaign design, and community engagement. So when I said, this is my woman, media entrepreneur, media everything. Please. Tell me about that story. How did you get into radio?
Okay, something happened in my life. I think it's a story that I'm getting comfortable sharing as I go into the wider space. I grew up in a very chaotic home. My environment was not chaotic. My environment was very quiet, but my home wasn't. And gender-based violence was very prominent in the environment in the home where I find myself. And it started to affect me as an individual. Throughout my secondary school days, I went to Federal Government Girls College at Baji. I was quiet, not because I was quiet, but because depression. I was depressed and I didn't even know, because I was very quiet during that period. And then one day, something happened. I saw a form of gender-based violence, and I stood up against it with a girl that, it's an all-girls school, with a girl that we're not even friends. And I knew she didn't like me. I knew I stood up for that. And then gradually going into my university days. And then at some point I started a podcast. Now, this podcast was inspired from a movie. Yes, I got the inspiration from a movie, All American.
Okay.
Yeah, where I saw the character Olivia use her podcast to talk about police brutality. And then I thought to myself, this year was in 2021. I thought to myself, I said, I can replicate this particular thing. So when you see something that is good, you can actually replicate it and make the best out of it. I started my podcast, Stories of 20s. It was an audio. The first episode was, you don't even want to listen to this.
I will listen to it. I'm going to call it. I hope it's still up.
Yeah, it's up on Spotify.
Okay.
The first episode, it was chaotic because I used my phone to record it.
Yeah.
And then I posted it on the 1st of June. That's my birthday. And I posted that episode. And gradually, my community started growing. I started getting feedbacks from my social media. Shout out to my friends. My friends were very supportive of me. And then I think 1 year later, I would tell you, God asked me to go to radio. A lot of people might not believe me, but I got the instruction from God and to go to radio. And I went to radio and I said, okay, this is what I do. I don't even know what I'm doing here, but this is what I do.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, okay, come in. Shout out to Mr. Kabiri from Prestige FM down there in Minna Niger State. That man is amazing. He gave me the opportunity. He just said, oh, let's go. Like, just that. Have you ever been here before? I'm like, no, I have not done this before, but this is what I do. And ever since then, it has been the blessings of God. So, yeah.
So you got into radio because, do you think it's because you already had a topic to talk about, something you were really passionate about, which was gender-based violence?
Yes, I feel gender-based violence and mental health. It's something that if you wake me up from my sleep, hey, wake up!
It's something you can easily
anywhere,
talk about.
anytime, any day. It's something I can easily talk about.
I feel like we should trade stories. Right? Because what got me into radio, my parents always listened to radio.
Yeah.
Everybody around me always listened to radio, but I finished boarding school and I became the most loneliest person in the world. I would say, I don't want to say I was depressed because no doctor diagnosed me, but I knew what I was going through at that point.
Yeah.
I was very low in spirit. I didn't have friends. Then I started listening to radio. I was like, this is what really interests me. They became my friends and everything. And I started, imitating them, doing stuff in the mirror, yearning to just
replicate
that. And also I wanted somebody to not feel lonely, because this radio presenters made me less lonely. So the reason why I got into radio was to not make anybody feel lonely, be it through the words that I said, be it through the music that was played, nothing.
So you're basically creating healing.
Creating healing, and that's the same thing you got into radio with. Mental health and
gender-based violence.
Yeah. So earlier on, before we got into recording, you said if someone takes a break from radio, they would always want to come back to it immediately. And why? I just want to give you context. For some people that went into radio, they went into radio with the idea of being famous, or they didn't have a message they wanted to pass across. There was nothing solid back in their reason for entering radio. They didn't have a cause to champion a radio. They just went into radio because they had a good voice, or they wanted to be famous, or they studied mass communication, or that was just your job that was available. Maybe their uncle was the GM of the radio station. This is no shade to anybody.
Okay.
So if someone like that stays in radio for the longest time, it becomes, at some point you become a lost cause, because
there's no purpose.
There's no purpose. You seek for something more. For you, when did you realize that you wanted to use media differently? You wanted to use it to champion women's voices and challenge harmful societal norms? Okay.
All right. It will lead me back to a story I really don't want to talk about. But yeah, I met someone who understands the power of using the media. Yes, I met someone who understands the power of using the media. Of course, this person has been on radio 30 years, and got so kind. The person started from Kaduna here. Yeah. So the person has been on media for the space of 30 years.
Wow.
And this person has made impact using the microphone. And he would always tell you the microphone is the most powerful tool on earth. And I agree. And so he taught me all the things he enhanced what I know. So it's just like meeting someone who is already living in your future. So he made it easy for me to like glide through and understand that, okay, there is a way in ways that other people don't see. Now, while we're talking behind the scenes, and you said at some point you have to look for something substantial. This microphone is substantial enough. This microphone can take you anywhere. This microphone can put you on the map. This microphone can create the best life you want if you are concerned about making impact and making change. Because right now, I can tell you that we have over 1,000 people tuned in to 98.9 Invicta FM.
Yeah.
And this recording is going on the socials. And because it is Invicta FM, someone is like, okay, let me see. They are putting out a video. It's radio. It's broadcast. Why do they have a video on? It's interesting. It's exciting. It attracts them. And then, even though they don't like or share, that residual knowledge is there.
Yeah.
And they've seen you. So when they see you outside tomorrow, they'll be like, I've seen you before. And then conversations begin to strike up. And then who knows? Maybe the person is somewhere that can make a difference in your life as an individual, because of course you meet people you need people to grow. No man is an island. You need people to grow. You need people to do things. You need people to make activities. You need people to make things happen. So this is the most powerful tool. And if you have this in your life, that's the best thing that can ever happen to you.
Don't you think the microphone is only substantial based on the message that is being passed through it?
Why do you have fake news trend? Why is Trump concerned about Nigeria all of a sudden? That is information put out. Why do you think people know about? Why is there a level of chaos? Why do we have a division in Nigeria? Okay, come down to Kaduna State. You're talking about Kaduna North, Kaduna South. You have people who come out from the South and they've never understood or seen the culture of people in the North. Why do you have a certain kind of people stay in the North? Why do you have a certain kind of people stay in the South? It's information. So if you're a new person coming to Kaduna town and you're a certain kind of person, you would want to go to the North. If you're a certain kind of person, you want to go to the South because it's more convenient for you, and it will be easier for you to socialize. Why do we have that? Because of information being put out. What do you use to put out information? Media. So that's your
okay. So I think I get your perspective, and the perspective I'm really coming from is, as a radio person or as someone in the media, you need to also continue to grow. Maybe your first year in the media, it was just, let's come and talk and shalaye and just do whatever there. But 2 years in, that story should have changed, because yes, you might be putting out, what do you know about the things you're talking about? Are you knowledgeable enough about the things you're talking about? What cause are you championing on radio? Like, it should, I think because I'm a very deep person, and whenever I'm listening to, be it a podcast or reading a book or even having this conversation, let's go into the deep end. You understand? Let's go into that bottom part. What is exactly in there? So you don't just come and spew stuff on the surface level. So if they call you a relationship expert on radio, are you just regurgitating cliches, or do you really know for sure? Is this something that you have researched on? Is this something that you have talked about?
Okay, now that brings me to the conversation. I'm a fellow with Asville Fellowship, Asville Support Initiative in Abuja. Yeah, I'm a fellow there, and the fellowship has been going on. And one thing I've seen the parts of now. These are trainings that I get myself involved in. These are things that I get myself involved in. I get to meet people. The executive director, Hassan Amaina, when I heard her talk about using storytelling to effect change, she said she was just an advocate on the socials. And at some point, I can't remember the year, on Twitter, she saw something and it made her curious. It made her like, why is everyone blaming the oppressor? Rather, why is everyone blaming the victim rather than blaming the oppressor?
Yeah.
It caught her attention, and gradually she started like advocating, and here we are. I'm part of the cohort too, and there has been a cohort one of people that have been through this fellowship, and there's a cohort too, and we've learned so much within this period, down to using storytelling effectively. You have you'd have yourself create a theory of change. These are things that a lot of people wouldn't even know that they can do until they have learned. So if you cannot practice what you don't know, you have to learn something in order for you to be able to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome back. It's still the Victorious Woman. I'm still your host, Chinwendu Perpetua Odimwe, and I'm here with Mason. Sorry, let's
give it up.
Give it up. So I want to know, what are the challenges you have faced in your advocacy journey?
Okay. Right. I did a video recently. I'm going to refer to that on my social media platform. Of course, you can follow me on my social media platforms.
Can you say the link? Can you say the
Mason
handles?
from Africa.
We're taking over the world. Come on. All right.
Mason from Africa is my name on social media platforms. So I recently did a video. I said names I have been called because I'm advocating for the right of women. There are some things that are not video friendly. Yeah. So I've been called like so many names.
The B word?
Yeah, the H word,
bruh,
the A word. I've been called terrible things. I've been called angry. Yeah. They say I hate men. I'm fighting men. But if you look at fighting gender-based violence, it's not about men. There are men who are violated.
Yep.
Who is fighting for them? How many advocates are standing? When you talk about advocacy on gender-based violence, the first picture that comes to your mind, if you're not in tune to this kind of thing, is a girl in distress or a woman in distress.
Yep.
What about the men that are being violated? Who is speaking up for them? So it is violation of rights, especially SGBV. Everybody can be sexually abused, either a male or a female. You say, men don't get sexually abused. They do. And that is why we have some men who are the way they are because of what happened to them in their childhood.
Yep.
And now it has even gotten worse that we have men violating men. We have women violating women. You know, there's more to this thing. So fighting gender-based violence is fighting the monster on the table. It's not fighting a gender. That's not what we're out to do. We are fighting the evil, which is gender-based violence. We're trying to see where it is being reduced to a barest minimum. Protect the life of people. Make them feel loved. Make them feel okay. If you have experienced any form of gender-based violence, I tell you for a fact, I tell you from experience, I am also, should I say, a victim or a survivor myself. So it changes you forever. And it brings out a certain part of you that you never even knew existed. So until you're able to deliberately tell yourself, you have to heal from this. I tell people that if you're being hurt, it's a wound and it's permitted to heal. So let yourself heal. You can take 10 years, you can take 20 years, but healing is possible.
Oh, that line you just spewed now, bro. It is imprinted in my head.
Okay.
If you were hurt, it's a wound and it needs to heal.
Yeah, sure. So you don't be a terrible person to other people, and you don't be the source of hurt to another person.
So you don't bleed on other people. Because I really liked what you said about, men being violated. Of course, like the data we have is that the people that undergo sexual abuse are mostly women, and it is being perpetrated by men. That is like the statistics, and of course the thing that is popular would always be looked after, but it doesn't defy the fact that some men are also being violated.
Yes.
And one thing I would love to see in our world is for more men that have undergone that, survived, and are healing, should also come out to act as advocates, because really the gender attaches to gender. So for the women, you are helping the women out, and also maybe the men. But a man would most likely open up to a fellow man. What do you think?
Okay. You see this line, be a man.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing that has happened to that has happened to mankind.
Yep.
Especially in our world over here. Now, don't tell a man to be a man. He or biologically is already a man.
Yeah.
So please, come on. Why would you tell a man to suck up pain? Men, it's if you see a man crying, how would you feel about it? You know, it will look weird. It's not something that happened. You're expecting a terrible situation to happen before you see a man cry.
Yeah.
But sometimes life is overwhelming. The economy is not even favorable enough. And a man has to take most of the heat.
Yeah.
He has to provide for his family, nuclear and extended. That pressure is on him. Societal pressure. You see his mates doing better. And he's under the pressure. Even if it is not being said, everyone is looking at you like, you start, like, your mates become boss to you.
Yeah.
But it's actually okay. Everyone cannot be at the top.
Yeah.
There are levels to this thing. I tell people, if we are in one space, then who is taking care of the other spaces? There has to be a balance. So it's okay at your level. Just strive to be better if you want to be better, but don't put too much pressure on yourself that it messes with you mentally. So please, men should report gender-based violence more.
Yeah.
Please. A boy is being violated, don't make him suck it up. And mothers, fathers, I think if fathers get involved in raising children more, I think all of these things would naturally die down, because fathers they have more ability to concentrate on men have more ability to concentrate on one thing per time. Well, except for those that cheat. Girl. So for a woman, she's in her mind, she's already multitasking. So you can pay attention to your children. You see your boy walking funny. Hey, come here. What is it? Be that safe space for your children, both boys and girls, as father, as mother. Let your children be confident enough to come to you. You're not running a military regime in your house.
Amen to that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say to that, do not allow stereotypes, things that have been said over and over, cliches to determine how you train your children or how you associate with your children. They are your children, not somebody you picked from outside.
You didn't plug them
you
from,
didn't plug them from anywhere. They are from your seed. So next one, how can we break the vicious cycle of gender-based violence?
The vicious cycle of, I think, is exactly what we're doing. Sensitization, letting people know about gender-based violence. Now, if what you don't know, they say it doesn't kill you, but it does. It kills you faster. Because they'll be like, in just a stand here, in just for die. Like, you know, we've had scenarios like that, but maybe it's a slight headache and he didn't pay attention to it. Maybe it's a stomach ache. He just say, make I just reach out, lie down small, it go stop. Maybe it's leg pain. Maybe it's something in his body and he didn't get medical attention. So that is how this thing started creeping in. And it's eating deep. In short, the level of gender-based, there is no day on the news that you don't hear one form of gender-based violence. One, you must hear it. And sensitization, letting people know that this is not a gender war. This is not a war against religion. This is not a war against tribe. This is not a war against individual. It is a war against an act that is making people worse. It is a war against an act that destroys the lives of so many people. I tell people that if love doesn't exist, at least kindness and empathy exist. You don't have to love a person for you to be empathetic towards that person. You don't have to love a person to be kind. That is who you are as a person. You are a kind person, and you don't let people's action mask the good in you. So please, don't, especially physical abuse in homes, please. Your children are watching. It's changing them. It's making them people they are not. Residual knowledge is a very funny and tricky thing. Mental health, depression is eating deep. Anxiety, people are moving in society as ticking time bombs. And I come from a home that I told you from the start of this. I said I come from a home where it was chaotic, but my environment wasn't. My immediate environment wasn't. I tell you that up until I grew to a certain level, let's say 1 year back or even months back, that I started to deliberately tell myself, you can't be angry always. You can't be angry. Now, I'm using myself as an example. You can't be angry always. You cannot be that person that then at any slight provocation, you're willing to explode. No, that's not who you are. And I deliberately tell myself, heal. It's a wound. Put intelligent spirits.
Yeah.
Put use water to wash it. Use whatever to clean it. Put band-aid if you have to, but you have to heal. You have to heal. You have to heal. You have to heal. And I need everyone to do that.
Yeah. Whew. Wow.
Okay, am I?
No. That is so good. I love how you put your heart into it. When you see it's not something you're saying theoretically, because it's something you lived through.
Yeah, I'm still living.
You're still living through. So when healing, what form did it come in for you? And I think the first question I wanted to ask you is, for somebody that is in a gender-based violence situation, what do you think is the first step they need to take to getting out of that situation? And talk to me about healing.
Okay. Well, individuals are different, and so is healing. You can't tell someone how to heal. No, you can't do that. But the first and only thing that survivors share in common is the ability to accept that it happened. Yes, the ability to accept that it happened is one major factor that would help you heal. Accept it. It's fine. It's okay that it happened. It is not because you're a terrible person it happened. It is not because God hates you that it happened. It is not because you were born unfortunate it happened. It happened. That is the only explanation. And yes, you don't deserve it, but you will not dwell on it. You will put yourself together. Make the best out of the situation. Healing is not one day. So you might feel like you might be good for like the period of 2 years. And then one day in the month of July, according to that song, reality hits you again. Maybe as a result of stress, maybe as a result of one thing, you get triggered. And it comes back to you that, oh, this thing happened. You see your hands start shaking. You see your mind, you see tears rolling down your eyes. Please cry.
Yeah.
Sit down, cry it out. That is a healing process. Cry it out as much as you can, but don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. Get yourself back up and move on. Now, that should not make you be a terrible person, because that thing you're experiencing, trust me, you don't want to do it to another person, because you as a victim, if you're using your situation to hurt others, is worse. Because
you should know better. You
should know better than anyone else that thing will destroy you. So please, healing is a wound. Heart is a wound. And healing is a process of taking care of that wound. Take care of it mentally. Take care of it physically. Take care of it food-wise. Take care of it in every possible way that you can. Healing is not expensive. You decide what makes you happy. If someone tells you, Omo, you know well, my interpretation is what makes it offensive.
Yep.
My interpretation of that simple line, Omo, you know well, is what makes it offensive. So if you decide to tell me you know well, I'll say, No,
Me now weary.
The head no.
You know,
Like my friends call me crazy.
Yeah.
And I laugh about it. It's something that I'll say, oh, when I say, oh, I've heard so much about you, Mason. Oh, I was looking forward to meet you. I say, hope they told you the crazy part. Now, that is the part, that is something I joke about it. And by the time I just start doing certain things, they say, I'm starting to see it. I say, yeah, I know.
That is it.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So just focus, and your healing and somebody else's healing is not the same. Focus on yourself. Help yourself. See, there's nobody that is coming to save you.
Yep.
And one thing that has helped me as an individual is spirituality. Now, if I say spirituality, a lot of people be like, you pray, you do it. Calm down. Understanding and knowing your spiritual journey by yourself. Now, other forms is out there to help you. You have your pastor, you have your imam, you have your preachings, you have your books, you have all of those things. All of those things are there to help you. They are not there to dominate you.
Mm-hmm.
They are not there to be Lord over your healing process. No. Your healing is first your responsibility before another person's responsibility. So take your healing seriously, and so help you God, you are able to heal and become a better person.
Okay, there are two things I want to, react to. Okay. There are two things I want to react to because it's really, really resonated with me. You know Malala Yousafzai?
Yeah, of course.
She had a gunshot to her head, and she said in the first year, it was just like, oh, it's nothing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But 7 years into it, the mind hadn't forgotten. She didn't react to it the way she was meant to react to it. And for her, it was a drug that triggered that whole reaction of panic attack. And it shows you how beautiful the mind is. The mind, I always used to say that the mind is your enemy, but I refuse to say that anymore because it's like it's your ally, it should be your friend. Draw it closer.
It's your greatest tool if you know how to use it.
Yeah. So something could happen to you now. And it's like, oh, that just happened. And 2 years later, you're crying about it.
Of course, it's okay. It's okay.
It always blew my mind. And one thing, awareness. That's why I'm very big on awareness. One thing awareness have taught me.
And that's why we're here.
One thing awareness has taught me is, baby, yes, you're over that. Let me just use the simpler one. I know it cannot be compared to gender-based violence. Yeah. Maybe that boy that broke your heart. That one.
Are we going to the boys?
That one. And 2 years later, you're still crying over him. Yes, cry. Let your heart break. But after crying,
pick yourself up.
Tears are really cathartic. It releases you, it purges you of things in your body. And your body needs to be free. Because sometimes you just wake up and everywhere is tight, everywhere is stiff, your jaw is tight, and you're just like, oh my God, allow me be free and do things. So you just have to listen to your body, listen to your spirit. What is really plaguing me right now? What is really wrong with me? Oh, yes, that boy, I saw him like another person's post. Okay.
That's fine.
I am sad about it.
And then you move on.
Okay. It was really stupid. And you just move on. It's power. And that's one thing people don't know, because when you decide not to react to it, it's like the other person still holds the power. So we don't need other people to continue to hold the power. We take that power and continue to move. And then the spiritual part, just recently, I realized that I started my spiritual journey really like last year. But, we said depending on the pastors, their sermons online. And at some point I was just like, no. Because really, these people, yes, they were sent by God, but some of them are preaching their ideas.
What comes into you.
Yeah. Some of them are preaching their ideas and opinions to you, backed with the word of God. So you need to figure out what your own process is, because this is really between you and your creator. And I really love that. Someone came to that realization. All right. Okay. So finally, you did answer this question of when someone is in a gender-based violent situation, what is the first thing they need to do?
Run. Yeah, run. Okay, now, if someone who says, when I say run, you're not going to run inside bush, no. You're going to run to help. You're going to run to people who can help you. Don't ever, I repeat, don't ever keep silent if you're being violated. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Speak up. Speak up, speak up, speak up. What will people say? Yeah, when you die, people will say. When you run crazy in the streets and you're taking off your dresses, people will still say. let them say, and you are fine.
And be alive.
Be alive while they are talking. So if you experience any form of violence, if you experience any form of mental issues, or you feel like killing yourself, you feel like ending it all, please talk to a trusted person. Talk to someone who is sensitive towards that kind of thing. Because sometimes you're talking to a trusted person who is not even sensitive enough to that situation. You say, don't worry, you'll be fine. No. Don't do that to yourself. Talk to someone who can help you. And I always say this. I said, I wish there were centers in our religious spaces. There were decks in our religious spaces that actually took care of this kind of issues. When you come with your mental health issues, you have a psychologist sitting there.
That is not the pastor.
That is not the pastor. That is not any member of this church. There's someone, even maybe not even a member of the church, that will keep your secret safe.
Yeah.
I wish we had that in the mosque. I wish we had that in the church. If you are a traditional worshiper, I wish you had that. I wish that was available. I wish we had people in the office space that, you know, when you go into this room, you're going to talk about your mental health. You're going to talk about how you're feeling, how the work is stressing you. You're going to talk about it. I wish we had all of those stationed. I wish the state government would say, okay, this particular center is funded by the government. If you're experiencing any form of mental issues, you're experiencing any form of this, you're going there to go and get yourself help.
Yeah.
But right now, it seems like, there are some NGOs that collaborate with the government. I don't know most of them in Kaduna here, so I can't really mention for you to get help. But there are NGOs in Kaduna here who are responsible, who take responsibility for this kind of issues, gender-based violence and the likes of those. So please find those kind of people, run towards help. And please don't say you're staying because of this, for the sake of the children. No. You're damaging the children. The children will grow up to be sad. They will grow up aggressive because of what they're seeing you as their parents experiencing. I don't know how to describe this, but don't stay because of another person. It will end you. It will finish you faster than you can imagine. So run to help. That is the first thing. Your family might not be supportive. Your faith might not be supportive, but you know what you're experiencing, and nobody can wear your shoes other than you.
Yeah.
You know where it hurts. You know, if I stand like this, the shoe go dey better small. So run to where they can keep your shoe your size and keep it balanced. So please run to help.
Okay. And I think that's one thing for a lot of NGOs. Anybody that is in a position of policy making should hear from Miss Hannah today, is that we really need those centers, because mental health is one thing that is 100% overlooked. Even in today's society, maybe because of the popularity of mental health, we now look down on it. But really, a lot of people are walking around anxious. A lot of people are walking around depressed.
They'll say it's because you don't have money. You can have all the money in the world
and cry in
you
your
still
car.
be sad. So please find help. It is not because you're poor you cannot help your mental health. Poverty is not an excuse, please. We've seen poor people. And in your situation, there are people that are worse than you. There are people that they cannot even afford 3 square meals. And yet, the moment you feel that, please run to help. That's the most.
Thank you so much, Miss Anne. Finally, one thing. What is that one thing every woman should know about herself? Okay,
this is going to hurt a lot of people. This is going to bruise a lot of egos. But one thing I want every woman out there to do is to be independent. Be independent.
Whose ego is he bruising? If you bruise your ego, then you know.
Be independent.
You know.
Your happiness comes from you. Your finances comes from you. Your spiritual journey comes from you. If you keep on depending on people to do that for you, you're going to, should I say, end yourself early?
Yeah.
You might still be working, but you're not alive. You're dead on the inside. So don't make your happiness the responsibility of another person. Make your happiness your responsibility, and it means you being independent. Now, independence does not mean you don't recognize authority. You recognize authority, but authority exists. But my body, my mind, my soul is my responsibility. Feeding my soul, feeding my body, feeding my spirit is solely my responsibility. Take the baby steps. Sometimes you might start and it might seem like it's wobbly. It's wobbly, but keep walking. It's just like when a child wants to start walking, the child will be doing like this, doing like this, doing like this, and at some point he go and hugs falls down. The child will stand up again and continue until one day he's up to the age where he'll walk, and then he'll walk, and then he's walking and he's running and he's doing other activities without falling, unless if you trip. So be like a child in every process. Anything I am doing, I always call it, any project I am on, I always call it my baby, because it means it will grow at some point to be an adult. So independence does not mean the absence of someone helping you out. You have to recognize the right kind of help and accept it. It's okay to accept help. Like I said, 1 tree, no deform forest. Now several trees. And you get some trees where we say, now when they grow, come out fruit, then go fall for ground. Their fruits go fall for ground. Decay, become
Tree again.
Another tree. So it's okay for you to accept help.
And really, the presence of people is just there to highlight
what you're already doing for yourself.
Work you're doing already.
Feels like we are soul sisters,
because a lot of the things you are saying are really just resonating with me, because really these are the things that I spend my time doing. And really, when you talked about independence, a woman listening would be like, oh, it's money, but it transcends money. Independence in the mind, in the soul, spiritually, knowing that this life you came to live is your life. It is yours.
Even if you don't get money, if you still,
you
are still independent.
Yes, I agree with you.
Me talking.
But anyways, thank you so much, Mr. for gracing us with your presence here.
Oh, it's lovely to be home again. I'm actually from Kaduna State.
Really?
Yeah, I'm from Southern.
Shout out to your people.
Oh, shout out to my Manswak people.
Okay.
I'm sure and I have family here, so I'm sure they're listening. And my beautiful mom, Esther Yayok, she's a police. Mommy, no verse, I don't know your rank. But I know she's a senior.
Come on, arrest her.
I know she's a senior police officer. And she's my biggest supporter. She's my biggest fan. The moment I post any video, So So it's amazing, and shout out to my family here in Kaduna, and shout out to all the people, the organizations, NGOs, people who are talking gender-based violence.
No weather. No weather. Sorry, just hold on. There's weather now.
So can I continue?
No, just hold on for me a little bit. There's weather now. What are they saying? Okay, please continue.
Okay, shout out to the NGOs who are fighting gender-based violence, individuals who are talking about gender-based violence from Kaduna State. I want to tell you that somebody is watching. Your views might not be much. Your likes might not be much. You might not get what you're looking for now, but please be consistent. You're changing the life of someone. Gender-based violence is not the way. And please, we should not let it eat deeper than it has already eaten.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your stories, for being a great advocate. Please visit us very, very
of course, I would love to. Yeah.
And that has been The Victorious Woman. I hope that you that listen to the show, that you learned something from it. And if you know anyone around you that is undergoing any form of gender-based violence, please, it is your right. It is your responsibility to stand up and speak up for that person, especially when that person cannot speak up for themselves. Let us try to break the cycle of gender-based violence in our society. Thank you so much, Miss San.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here, and you're so amazing. Great work. Great work.
Thank
Don't worry, I'll come learn for your hand.
I beg. How many years have you been doing this?
Well, quite some time.
Okay. Anyways, I'll be your host, Chiwedu Perpetua Odimwe. Until next time, this show makes a return to your number one radio station, the same time, same station. From I and Miss San, we are saying bye.
Bye.
Thank you.